Hello, everybody. Tonight I'm going to work on a project. I processed the Horsehead Nebula last week, and I was talking about how the Flame Nebula, that's also in the picture. Hang on just a second. Had to get rid of that. Um, I was talking about how the Flame Nebula should be more yellow than red. Everything else is red in the picture, and it's because of the filters that I use. It brings out just red, not just red, but it brings out a lot of the red. Red is associated with hydrogen alpha, and the filter that I use, it's a dual band. It's hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3, and so that brings out a lot of the red. The Flame Nebula normally is kind of a yellow. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to um, try to make that Flame Nebula look a little more yellow. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we'll see. So let's get started on it, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, here is what I did last week. You can see the Horsehead Nebula right here and all this nebulosity around it. This is the Flame Nebula right here, and it should be more yellow than red. So I'm going to try a couple of things, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to come up here to process, all processes, and I'm going to come down here to range selection, and everything's going to come up on the other screen. And I'm going to open the preview, and you can see it just looks white. If I start bringing this up, you can see it's making, we're going to use this for a mask. We're making this area, this is the area we want right here. So I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to go ahead and create that mask. Close the preview. There's our mask. Okay. Now, that's also got all the other nebulosity in it also, and stars. We got to get rid of that. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save as, and I'm going to save it as a TIFF. And I'm going to save it as a 16-bit TIFF. And then I'm going to open up Photoshop. And I'm going to open that picture in Photoshop. And it's going to be down here. I should have already had this open. And I think it's this one. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now I'm going to take out all this white here. Just leave the white right here where the Flame Nebula is. And I'm going to do that by using a brush. And I'm going to paint the area black. Now, right now the background is black and the foreground is kind of a gray color. I'm going to press the X on the keyboard and switch those. So the brush color is black. And how big? This is a pretty small brush. I'm going to have to make it larger, a lot larger. Probably, let's try that. Well, that's not too bad. And opacities, 100%, flows 100%. So this should, why are we not doing anything here. What's the deal? Oh, I don't want to do either of those. It's just not working. Let's try making this a hard. There we go. Well, why is that? There we go. Okay, I'm just taking out everything except for the Flame Nebula. So I'm gonna run that right there and go all the way around here. And then I'm gonna come down this way. Come up here. Take this out. There's another way to do this in PixInsight. You could use the clone stamp, but it takes a lot longer to doing that than what we're doing here. So now I'm going to make this a lot smaller. And I'm going to take out some of these stars here. I don't really want to mess with them. That's looking pretty good. So I'm going to save that. Save. And I'm going to go back to my... Actually, I'm going to go back in here and close that picture. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to reopen it. There it is. So now you can see we've got pretty much just the Flame Nebula covered. I'm going to make that real fuzzy. So I'm going to go to Process, All Processes, and I'm going to come down here to Convolution. And yeah, open up on the other screen. Everything's going to open up on the other screen tonight. Okay, now I clicked on the preview, and I'm going to bring this slider up and see how it got real fuzzy. That's what we want. We don't want real sharp lines. I'm going to apply that. I'm going to close the convolution. Now, I'm going to drag this over to here. I don't want to drag it onto here. I'm going to drag it down just below that, and that's going to apply this mask to our picture. And you'll see behind it, it turned red. The red part is the part that I think I really ought to take out a little bit more there. I think I should. The red is protected. What we see here is what we're going to work on. I'm gonna let's try it and see how it works out. All right, so I'm going to right click on the picture, the image, and I'm going to come down here to mask, and I'm going to click on show mask. That takes the mask away. I can see what we've got there. All right, so I'm going to come up here to curves, and I'm going to click on hue, and I'm going to click on the real-time preview, and I'm going to put a couple of points up here so that they don't move. And I'm going to come down here where this yellow is. I'm going to bring that up. You can see it bringing up the yellow, it's also kind of turning green. So I'm going to bring the green part down. Well, that ain't working out real well, is it? I'm going to take that point out. I wonder if I ran the SCNR and take the green out. Let's see what happens. May make the picture really bad looking. It didn't seem to change it at all. I'll go back. Yeah. Didn't really change it at all. Okay. That is more yellow. I'm going to try bringing... Oops. Oh. That messed up. Try bringing this up here. Try bringing the green down. I just ain't really getting it. That isn't too bad. Let's apply that. Yeah, that got really green. I'm going to close this. Well, that don't look too awfully bad. It's still got some green in it. I'd like to get out of it. I wish this would work. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that took green out of it, but it almost turned it back to the red. So, let's try this. I'm going to bring the curves back up, and I'm going to click on the green, just the green. I'm going to try bringing it down. Yeah, that made it more yellow. I'm going to apply that and reset it. Well, what happened? Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the preview. I'm going to go back to what it was. I'm going to do the preview. And I'm going to bring the green down. Okay. That's still got a lot of red in it. Still got a lot of red. So, let's bring up the curves again and do the preview. Even though the preview window was still open, I still have to click on it here to apply the preview to what I'm doing here in curves. It was looking at what was, what the process before, which I've already done it. I'm not doing it anymore, so it's looking at nothing. So let's try bringing this up. Ooh, no. Let's reset that. Wait a minute. What if I bring it down? That just takes color out. That don't look too bad right there. Actually, let's go ahead and apply that. It's still going to have some red in it, but it's a lot more yellow than it was. So, I said I was going to talk about God's creation a little bit. I haven't yet, but I'm going to. Uh, I read an article that I want to talk about. Uh, I read several articles on the same subject I want to talk about. All right, so let's. I don't know. Ooh, yeah, there. Well, see, I'm turning that star yellow. I don't want that star yellow. That's what I was talking about. I probably ought to make that a little bit. So, I'm going to do this. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close this preview. That really looks pretty good, actually. I kind of like that. I'm going to bring this mask up. You're going to see. I'm going to show the mask again. You can see what area we're working on. And the red part, like I said, is protected. So whatever I do doesn't happen in the red area. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to all processes. I had a little brain fart there. All processes, and then clone stamp. You'll see how this works. It's over here on this other screen. Okay. Now I've got to click in the picture somewhere to activate it. And then I'm going to raise this radius up. I love PixInsight. It's a good program. Let's just go to 255. We'll see how that is. All right. Now, if you watch over here on the where the mask is at, or yeah, on the image itself, you can see exactly what I'm doing to the mask. It's doing, what I want. I want to cover that up a little bit. I want right there. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna apply that by clicking on this green arrow. If you don't do that, everything you did is gone. So now I'm going to close that, and I'm going to run the convolution again. Make that edge fuzzy. Let's get a, yeah, that'll be good. And close that. Close that. There. Now we got, we've covered up the star. We've got just the Flame Nebula. I'm going to minimize that, or actually shade it, what they call shading it. I don't know where they come up with the name, but I'm going to take off the show mask so we can see the whole picture. Now I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to put on the preview, and I'm going to run this up. That's a little too yellow. Maybe about right there. I didn't really do much, did I? I like that. I'm going to apply that and then close it. Close the preview. Yeah, I like that. That doesn't look too bad. That's the total thing. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. Okay. What I'm going to talk about is an article I read. I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and remove the mask. Remove mask. And I'm going to save this. Save as. And let's call it Horsehead Nebula Yellow Flame. All right. I'm going to save that. Okay. And I'm saving it as an XISF, which is just a type of file. I don't know where else it's used. I know PixInsight uses it. It's I don't know if it's a proprietary file type or what, but the XISF in PixInsight keeps all the information. So if I saved it as JPEG, it would get compression, and that kind of messes up the image. So anyway, I read an article about dark matter. The scientists used to think that dark matter didn't change. It stayed constant, and that dark matter was what was causing the universe to expand. They've recently discovered that there's a good possibility, that they're not 100% sure, but there's a good possibility that the dark matter is decaying over time, which means that either they were wrong to begin with about dark matter causing the universe to expand, or the universe is going to quit expanding. Of course, we're all going to be gone by the time, this is all figured out. But God created everything, and he set into motion certain things. The expansion of the universe is one of them, I believe. I think God's got a sense of humor. I think he does things to make people question what's going on. And that's kind of what's happening with dark matter. They're not sure. First of all, when they discovered dark matter, or they thought they discovered dark matter, they actually didn't have anything that would work, so they just called it dark matter. They really don't know what this is that they're measuring, but that's what they call it. I think that sometimes they'll start going down a road and they'll figure out, well, this is the wrong road to go down. They need to go down a different road. And I think the whole time God's, changing things and making scientists question what they're doing. A lot of scientists do believe in God. You'll only hear the scientists that don't believe in God talking about how they don't believe in God. You don't hear the scientists that do believe in God talking about it much. But there's a lot of scientists that do believe in God, or at least they believe in a grand design. This didn't just happen. Even the Big Bang, if the Big Bang happened, which that's just a theory. All this stuff is just theories. They cannot prove any of that happened. But anyway, if the Big Bang happened, there's nothing that says that God didn't do the Big Bang. There's just so many things that science can't explain that faith in God does explain. So anyway, that is my thoughts tonight. I hope you liked my picture here, my image. Ooh, got a little too close. I think that looks pretty good. I still got a lot of work I could do on this. It's not a good image, really. There's a lot of things wrong with it. The halos around the stars. I don't know what to even try to do with those. I'm going to try to find out, and if I can fix it, I'm going to fix it. So, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this Wednesday night. I will be here again next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. I'm planning on doing these every Wednesday night. So, until next week, God bless you. And, oh, wait a minute. There is one thing I wanted to show you guys. Right here. Okay, this is my website. If you want to go to it, it's godscreationobservatory.com. And I've got all kinds of different things on here. I've got an image gallery where you can look at some of my pictures. If you go to it and then click up here in the upper right hand corner where it says gallery, and then you click on astro photos there, and there's some pictures that I've taken, and you click on one and it gets bigger, and you can actually come over here and see the original. That's the original size there. Actually, there, that's the original size. So, you can do that. And then on this one, you just close that window, that tab, and it goes away. And there's all the equipment I use. Now, I don't have my newest telescope on here. I need to get that on here. I don't think I do. Nope, I don't. So, and then you can actually buy some of my images if you want to. Then I've got an all sky camera that you can look at and see the sky at any time. That's what it looks like right now. I've got in this, I've over here on the side, on the left side, I've got time lapsed where you can watch a time lapse from during the day all the way through the night to the next morning. And it's pretty cool. You can see the clouds going through, and then here it's in a second it's going to start getting dark, and there it's getting dark. There's the stars. They're moving across the sky. And then it's going to turn into morning again. It's coming. It's coming, I promise. Last night, this was last night, it got cloudy and rained just before I went to work. It's kind of clearing up a little bit. There's the morning. That's all the video. and back and back again. And then there's star trails. You can, oh, what's this? Looks like I caught an airplane going through there. But these are all the star trails going through the sky. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can click on this and it shows you I'm not sure I've got that quite lined up right. The different constellations. Okay, and then back to this, got comments. And over here on the right hand side on all these pages, I've got an events thing. I need to put from next month. I usually post a month's worth of stuff in there, and you can leave a comment if you like. And then there is about me, and it just talks about how I started doing astrophotography. So there it is. If you go to my website, leave a comment. I like reading comments. You know, I've had to delete one or two. Excuse me. Had to delete one or two because it was I know of one that I had to delete. It said something about it had nothing to do with astronomy. It was somebody trying to sell something, I think. So anyway, that's the show tonight. If you go to my website, leave a comment. If you like this video, leave a comment, like it, subscribe, and I will see you next Wednesday. I need to get over here. Okay. I will see you next Wednesday.